Hey, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. And today we're talking about Shopify and a few just really quick checklist items that you can use to improve your Shopify store. This could be happening after you run a successful Kickstarter campaign, or you can just be going straight to e-commerce. We're getting into that in just a second. Okay, what is the goal of a Shopify store? Right? I'm asking you that question. What is the goal of a Shopify store? Well, one goal you could say would be to get more customers, to make more money, and to deliver products very easily to people, right? There are a few different goals when it comes to it, but all the time as marketers, we really have to hone in on like, what is it that we're trying to do? And the way that I like to think of it is we're kind of building a funnel. So a funnel, obviously at the top, it's a little bit wider and sort of narrows down. At the very bottom of a funnel is when a transaction happens. I know that word transaction, people don't like to use very much. You want to say, oh, we didn't have a new relationship with a customer, or we've met a new family member of our Shopify community. However you want to color it, they're a customer, right? You're getting a transaction to happen. It starts with the broader strokes of the funnel and then it narrows down. And the Shopify store is one tool that you can use that's actually in the middle of a funnel to transition people down to being a customer. Now, all marketing is basically replacing salespeople and is doing it at scale. So in the olden days, if you just didn't have any kind of marketing tools, you'd have to rely on physical people, individual human beings going up and selling services or going door to door or talking to the people and trying to relay a message. Over time, we've been able to do things like the invention of the printing press, the invention of being able to make graphics and colors and the internet. You know, there's a whole host of inventions that go into marketing, even video medium, right? Audio, podcasts, etc., blogs. This is all allowed us to scale sales. Bread and butter sales allowed us to get beyond one individual human and to go to the masses with something that's going to appeal to many, many different people. So a Shopify store is just replacing a physical store. So you have to think a little bit about that and sort of what your goals are going to be. So I'm just going to narrow in on some of the major checklist items here. So first of all, your Shopify store, how are people discovering it? First of all, if it's going to be by SEO, organic search engine traffic, you're going to obviously want to have some kind of a plugin, or you're going to want to do an SEO analysis of your site. Look for major titles, for keywords, for metadata. Make sure the images on your site also have the keywords in them that you're going to be having for the product or that you're trying to target. Do a keyword analysis in general in your industry, where maybe you have one product and you think you're selling that like an iPhone case, right? And you think I should title this product photo iPhone case. Maybe not. Maybe people online are searching for funny iPhone cases, right? Or great iPhone cases that are very sleek looking, or minimalistic iPhone cases. Then you're going to use that keyword data to inform your marketing to change all the titles on your site to be more in line with that. So when someone searches up minimalistic iPhone case, and this is very basic, it's going to pop up more with your store and some of the products that you're selling. So the first one is start thinking about search engine optimization, and this is organic marketing. Along with organic marketing, you can also think of social media. So do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a Twitter? Do you have Instagram? Do you have the major social media networks that are out there? I say at the very least, you should have an Instagram and you should have a Facebook. You know, Twitter is a little bit more of a waning social network in that way. And you can also even have a YouTube channel if you want to. You know, there's so many different social media platforms nowadays. If you want to, you could have a Snapchat, you know, etc. But the goal with social media is to get those people that are at the top of the funnel who maybe suffer from the problem that your product solves, or maybe vaguely interested, to start indoctrinating them. That's kind of like, I don't know, it sounds like a cult term, right? Or a religious term. You're indoctrinating people into your brand. The more you see a new watch that's being created on Instagram, the more you start to be like, that thing actually looks pretty cool. Or like, I look into the company, I start to see more and more of their posts. I'm like, this is actually really cool. I'm thinking of buying one. I'm like, oh no, I feel like I'm gonna buy one of these, right? Because you get excited. The more you see products and things you like, the more you get excited. So the Facebook page, Instagram, those kind of things, those are all organic marketing. And that's indoctrinating people into not only your values and like those kind of things, but they'll get a sense of what your inventory is. If I say something like, hey, I need to buy a new mug, or I need a new iPhone, or I need a new laptop or a microphone, and I say, where can I buy that? You instantly go through almost an archive of all the places where you could buy something like that. And you say, oh, you should go to Best Buy, right? Or you should go to Target, or you should go to Amazon, or you should go to this thing. If I say I really need a really good watch, The first one that comes to my mind, I'm just doing this on the spot, is Vincero watches, because I have 2 of them and I love Vincero watches. They're really good. I think of movement watches. They're kind of like luxury ones for an affordable price, right? I don't really think of like Fossil or Timex or those kinds of things. If I'd be spending a lot more money, I might be going, in a different direction. But the more that people get the sense of what your inventory is, the more likely they are to buy more products from you. I know it sounds really simple, but you do that with social media and organic marketing. That's called content marketing, because you're putting out content in order to establish a relationship. The other thing would be things like blog posts, things like videos. It could be a podcast of some kind. That's another form of organic marketing that you can incorporate to get spread awareness and start to indoctrinate people and get them moving down this funnel. So eventually they're going to make a transaction happen. I can tell there's some products that I've been looking at for 6 months before I bought like a $250 watch. I've been looking at this thing for a while, and finally, for whatever reason, like things aligned, the stars aligned. I was like, I want to buy this, right? So make sure that you have that as part of your organic marketing. So we kind of transition from organic marketing now. I want to talk a little bit about paid marketing, and then we're talking about building a better butterfly net. So when it comes to paid marketing, there are a lot of easy things you can do. First of all would be running Facebook ads. So you can be running Facebook ads to cold audiences if you wanted to, just by segmenting based on interest on Facebook. You can run Facebook ads to custom audiences if you already have an email list. You can create a lookalike audience. You can run Facebook ads to your existing tribe of people who have liked your Facebook page and just doing boosted posts. You can run Facebook ads to I'm trying to think of some other ones. You could run a Facebook ad in terms of retargeting people who have been on your website. If you have a Facebook pixel installed on your website, you could retarget all those people. You can get even more in depth into targeting in terms of targeting other pages. You can experiment with different content mediums, so video versus images on Facebook versus a carousel. Versus Messenger, right? Installing Messenger, so you can have almost a Facebook Messenger bot if you want to, that's attached to your store. So there's a lot that you can do with Facebook ads. We didn't even touch like Google ads, running YouTube ads, running ads when people are searching on Google, and display ads, like those kinds of things. There's a lot that you can do with paid marketing, but I wouldn't start there if you're just very new. You have to learn a little bit about it. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting a lot of money. Other ways when it comes to paid ads would be paying people to do reviews. Now, this could be a YouTuber, this could be someone who's a blogger, or sending out products to people to start to get some media hits, get the people talking, getting people reviewing your actual products. This could be earned media, it's called, or paid media. So this would be you either paying someone to do a review, or you send them a product, they like it, and then they decide to do a review on their own. That'd be more of an earned media exposure. So media exposure is another one. Or you, let's just say, as a founder, we're gonna go stay with the watch example, and you wanna go on a podcast that talks about watches, or you want to contribute a YouTube video to someone who has a channel about watches, and maybe talk about some of the materials that go into creating a watch, or maybe talk about some of the different styles over the years, or your thoughts on investing in a watch for the long term, and can certain brands appreciate in value, or can certain brands hold their value over time versus other brands are not as good. So you can also have this expert kind of scope where you're sharing that, and as an excuse, you get to talk about your company. So these are just a few like little bite-sized ideas when it comes to organic marketing and paid marketing. And the biggest thing that you can do to kind of start this process would be to start developing media assets. So things like the logos, high resolution photos, high resolution video, descriptors. Start getting a bank of media assets, which either a marketer like myself can work with you a lot more easily, because we don't have to originally create this material for you, which we can also do. But it's a lot easier, just a lot faster. So start creating those media assets. You can start with the organic marketing and the paid marketing ASAP. Now, the third part is building a better butterfly net. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you're going and you're trying to catch butterflies, I don't know why I use this example, but let's just say you're going and you're trying to catch butterflies and you're going to a field, right? There are a few things. Number one is you could go to a field that has no butterflies, because I don't know, you chose a really bad field and there's no butterflies to catch. So even if you have the fastest legs and you can run really quickly, or you have a really good butterfly net, it doesn't matter. You're going to a field with no butterflies, you're not going to catch any butterflies, right? Or you could say fireflies or whatever. So obviously the market is something that you have to decide when it comes to being an entrepreneur. But on the flip side, you also have the actual design of a butterfly net. And you'd be ludicrous here to think that certain butterfly nets aren't better designed to catch butterflies. You could have a really tiny net that doesn't have very big surface area, and it's really hard to catch them. You have to be very on point, right? Or you have a really big net that's clunky to hold, that's hard for you to swing, and you're too slow, right? So it's really having an optimized butterfly net to capture the maximum number of butterflies that's easiest on your arms. It's not super heavy. It's not too hard to wield, right? So you're catching a lot of these things. It's such a crazy example. But yeah, you're catching a lot of these things. The butterfly net in this example is your website, right? Is the actual bread and butter functionality of your Shopify site. And thankfully, there's an entire Shopify marketplace out there where you can install new functionality. You can install better themes that optimize the website viewing experience of your visitors. So I'm just gonna run down a few simple things that you can incorporate on your website that will increase sales, that's gonna transition people down this funnel to becoming customers of yours. And then overall is just something that I think is gonna be really level up your game when it comes to your Shopify store. The first one is to integrate email marketing. Email marketing is kind of like an older term, but still in this year, it's literally going to be one of the best converting mediums out there when it comes to getting people's contact information, getting their names and emails, sending them email autoresponder sequences, or sending them broadcast emails, or sending them deals. And then they get on your site, they start browsing around more, and you convert them much more easily into customers. In addition, you can have things happen where you get banned from a social media service like Twitter, or you get banned from Facebook for some reason, or someone closes down your Instagram account, right? Who knows why that would happen, but it's happened to a lot of my clients over the years for random reasons. But if you have an email list, you are never going out of business, man, because you already have this existing relationship with the email list. If you've captured those leads appropriately, you're going to be able to, even if your website blows up and you have to buy another website domain, you can direct them to that new domain using your email list. So make sure you're incorporating email marketing in terms of pop-ups, in terms of being able to subscribe on your website, lead magnets, landing pages, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you incorporate email marketing as number one. Number two, make sure you install Google Analytics so you get lots of insights into your visitors. Make sure you install a Facebook pixel also on your website so you can retarget visitors in the future, and you can also create lookalike audiences from that. I would also recommend installing some kind of a heat map tracking software. It could be something like Inspectlet, where you basically install this tool and you can record visitor sessions on your website. And you don't have to do this like for the entire duration of your business, but certainly within the first 3 months where you're getting this thing up and running and you're learning about your customers and learning about your marketing, it's very helpful because that way you can see what people are doing on your site. And it's just a lot easier, I think, when you get that feedback from your marketing. Another one would be to install an application or a plugin that will capture the information when it comes to abandoned cart. When people are abandoning their cart, they're basically going through the entire process of buying a product, but for whatever reason, they get to the end and they abandon the cart. Now, when it comes to Shopify, there's some information there, but reach out to those individuals and say, hey, did something happen? I saw you didn't complete your cart. So make sure that you're incorporating that also on your store, because that could literally improve your revenue by a factor of 10% overnight by just capturing some of these people that have been abandoning their cart and going elsewhere. They forget about it, and you can then recoup that revenue. Chatbot is another great one to install on your website. It could be a Facebook Messenger chatbot or just a normal chatbot where people who are there that are looking to buy and they just have simple questions, right? So they're like, oh, does it have these specifications? Or they're trying to complete an order and for whatever reason their credit card is not going through or something like that, right? You can have a simple chatbot on the website where you can start to deal with some of those customer inquiries directly versus they get frustrated, they get angry, and they just leave the site and you never hear from them again, right? It's a lot better to have consistent communication with the customer. So make sure if you can to have some kind of a chatbot on your Shopify site. Some other quick ones to consider might be doing giveaways. So having a giveaway software where people give away their name and email in exchange to win some kind of a raffle or to be entered in a contest. Others could be exclusive discounts that you're having site-wide, like a summer special or a spring special, right? Other things would be, for example, if you have a site and you're shipping out products and those kinds of things, and you haven't really thought very much about your packaging, you could have a very simple marketing insert. And I mean, this is part of the whole customer funnel where it's not just a transaction, it's how do you make the next transaction. So someone ends up buying your product, they get to the end of the funnel, but then you want to shorten the time where they're going to then make another transaction. You could have a very simple marketing insert, which you put into the packaging. And in that way, it could be a discount off. It could be a 90-day promotion where they have to buy another product in 90 days or something like that. It doesn't really matter, but think about it. Think about how you can brand the customer experience from a packaging standpoint And in that way, integrate with the Shopify store, because the Shopify store is going to list what the coupon code is, they're going to list what that special is, and then they can use that, and then you get a returning customer, you increase your revenue, and in that way, you're making more and more money from it. I want to be aware of your time, so I'm just going to leave you with one final tip when it comes to the marketing and things you can do when it comes to your Shopify store, and that is focus on craftsmanship. I know this sounds strange, but like craftsmanship actually is a marketing inlet or a marketing excuse. When you're talking about how this watch was so beautifully designed and the materials that it's made out of and the painstaking process to make the dial, right? Or you're talking about a pen and just the aluminum, that this is actually the same pen that NASA spaceflight scientists use when they're going to the moon, because they need one that they depend on, that writes upside down, that is made from very durable materials. And we think intricately about how this holds in the hand so that you can have very quick writing, but that you can also write for long periods of time. We've thought through this so much, putting together a slick design pen that's also functional, something that's minimalistic, and something that whenever you're going to a boardroom meeting or an employee is coming in with a question, or you're hiring new employees, that pen is going to stand out to them and going to catch their eye a little bit and get them starting to think about some of the values that you have also as a company. The more that you talk about design and the more you talk about the process that went into making a product and the design choices and all the thought that went into it and all those little minutia details, to you, it might be freaking boring, but to the customer, they actually start to get interested. They start to realize why it's different. To sell a very expensive product like an Arthur Miller watch or like something really high end, you gotta talk about the story behind getting it made, because that's the only way someone can wrap their head around, oh, this is special. A lot of thought went into this. When you see something that's expensive, like an expensive glass, right? We assume that it's very well designed. Well designed equals expensive. Think about it. Well designed is like when so much thought is going on this product, and you go into a store and there's literally this little podium, right? And there's just one product on top of that podium. There's like a tiny few of these podiums. Rather than just being like a huge warehouse of different products, there's only a few of them in the store. You know, without even me saying it, those products are expensive. Why? Design. It's design, man. It's industrial design. So think about the craftsmanship, how you want to tell that story, and how you want to also describe the way the products are designed. The more you do that, I know it doesn't sound like it, but the more you do it, it's actually a form of marketing. It indoctrinates people. It gets people excited wanting to buy it, and it makes them feel like it's literally something that's special, and so much thought and care went into this that they feel comfortable making a purchasing decision. So I hope you liked this video, and if you want some personalized attention when it comes to your brand, what you're trying to accomplish, growing your store, growing your business, launching a Kickstarter campaign, if you want to in the future, book a one-on-one coaching call with me down below, and we can go over this in an intensive call talking about your specific case and how to really upgrade you and get you to the next level here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Come subscribe. My name is Salvador Briggman, and I'll see you next time.